Hi and welcome back to the channel. We're going to start looking at Brickworks by the RSGB, and this next few videos are going to be a video diary put together by me of me trying to achieve, or hopefully, fingers crossed, achieving all the criteria for the Brickworks, one at a time, bit by bit. See how long it takes, see how well I do. It's going to be everything that I do, warts and all, no setups, nothing like that. First of all, before we go any further though, I'd like to say thank you very much to Laydor, that's the Leyland and District Amateur Radio Club, and to Phil, 2E0DGP. Thank you very much for letting me do it through the club. Thank you very much for presenting it to me in the first place. I hope this video diary is going to be of use to you as well. Hopefully it is. Anyway, this is G6PNH. Let's get on with it. Right, so in this first video, I'm just going to try and explain what you need to do for Brickworks, and then perhaps a little bit of using my past knowledge from working with MVQs about how you can combine them and exactly what everything means. Okay, so Brickworks is originally set up by the RSGB for you to go one step further than the foundation and to actually get involved and start doing things with radios and give you some ideas of things that you can do and things that you can achieve. When I've looked at it, I've actually thought, well, I've been a licensed AM for near on 43 years now, and I still want to have a go at it. And there's one or two bits in here I have never done. There's some in here I've shied away from for various reasons. And I also look at it and I think this is actually really good for returning hams as well. Let me go through what you have to do. And I've had to write it down, I'm afraid. There's quite a bit. So there are 5 parts to it. The first part is having a goal, so that's getting as many contacts as you can. Perhaps that's the wrong way of putting it. You're actually given how many contacts you have to get. So there's VHF contacts, there's HF contacts, there's SSTV contacts, which is brilliant for me. I'm into that. Then there's getting involved. So you've got things like doing sorter or working so many WAB squares. I'm going to come on to that in a minute. I've got the full criteria, I'll read that out to you. Then there's taking part. So it's attending like club meetings, and part of it is to encourage people to come to clubs. But also perhaps taking part in nets, and also taking part in field days. The next one is to make something, and there's only 2 criteria. One is a software one, and the second one is a hardware, and it doesn't have to be anything difficult, but it has to be something to do with your shack, so it's something for your radio. The last bit, the last one, is promoting radio itself, so introducing somebody to the radio or the world of amateur radio, who then goes on to do the foundation. In all that as well, there are other little things that you need to do, so let me go through them little step by little step. If you think that's a bit boring, zoom on. If you already got the criteria and you're happy with that, zoom on. If not, here is a little bit of an in-depth view. However, I want to point out at this stage, first and foremost, I am not an expert. Okay, I have done MVQs, I have taught MVQs, so I understand the way that it works, but it's down to your club at the end of the day. What they say goes. Do not bring this video a bit closer. Damien G6PNH says this. No. No. Please, it's your club at the end of the day. They're the authority. I'm going to go through what I see in it. The club might even turn around to me and say, no, Damien, you're wrong. Phil might turn around to me and say, no, Damien, you need to be doing this or doing that instead. Alright, I will take notice of that, and that will be in this diary, this video diary. Okay, right, let's move on. Let's go through the criteria little bit by little bit. Okay, so the first thing that happened was we had a little meeting. Brilliant. Actually, in fact, there was quite a lot of people there, which was absolutely brilliant. We were given a list that looks very similar to that, but it was on 2 pages. I've downloaded this one from the RSGB website. I shall make every attempt to put that in with the description at the bottom. So we were given a sheet like that. Also on the RSGB website, if you search for Brickworks, you'll also find a lot of criteria that sort of explains what you have to do in a bit more detail. So let me go through this one. I'll get this back again. We were given this out during the meeting, and we had a little talk about it. We had a little snigger about 1 or 2 little things in terms of, oh well, you know, if we if we receive a SSTV signal from the International Space Station, is that considered a contact? Well, looking into it, I'd say no, it's not. So we need to be really careful. Now the first criteria, and I'm going to have to keep looking down to read these. The first one is log 50 contacts on VHF or UHF bands using any mode. When you look at the criteria, it does say unique. Initially I thought, brill, I'll do 10 people 5 times, job done. No, it's not. It's got to be unique. Now, if you're starting to think, I'll work on these individually, I'll start at the top and work my way through, don't. You'll find it easier if you start mixing them up. Because later on, it says, under getting involved, log a sorter summit. Now that requires 4, can't count now, can I? This requires 4 contacts. Now, you'll probably end up getting more contacts. You can add them, if you do it via VHF, there's 4 plus contacts that you can get down on that first criteria right away. Now the second one says, then log contacts with amateur radio stations in 3 home countries: England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Channel Islands. Now, it might not be all that easy, so you think. However, you can use any band, any mode. You can use HF, stations using CW, phones, and anything from 3 megahertz. Yep. Yeah, 3 megahertz right to 30 megahertz if you're using VHF. HF. Come on, let's get it right. The next one is log 50 phone or CW contacts using the HF band. So if you're into CW, you're brilliant. I'm not. I've always found it difficult, CW. So for that reason, it's got to be voiced with me. I did originally think, oh, maybe I could use FT8. However, FT8 comes later on down. So he then says, log 50 contacts using digital data modes on any band. Digital data modes, FT8, FT4, there's quite a few. You use any you want, but you can't use SSTV or fast scan TV. The reason being is there's another criteria for that in a minute. So, log 10 contacts using an image mode. Well, there we go already. Image mode, SSTV. Now, if you're not set up on HF to do it, you find a little bit of difficulty. 10 meters, 15 and 20 meters are good ones to go on. However, there's no reason why as a club we can't set a net up. And to be honest, personally, I'd be quite happy to do that. We've done it before in my local area. I also have good contact down towards Leyland and Chorley. And actually, Phil, 2E0 DGP, your SDR. I've already tried it on there and it works as well. So I'm quite happy. If anybody wants to make a contact with me, SSTV, just message me, we'll sort something out. Right then we're on to log 10 contacts using digital voice mode. These are the areas where I'm going to struggle, because I find it difficult to understand DMR when they're talking, and it sounds too funny for me. Fusion, not too bad. Now, that then means that for digital modes, log 10 contacts unique amateur radio stations. You can use any band, and it says digital voice modes, plural, so it doesn't matter which one you use, and you can use any band. So even 10 meters is open to you there. For those who do fusion, you'll probably be aware of the beaconing that you can do up on 10 meters using C4 FM. Now another one that I'm going to struggle with is working through a satellite and working through the ISS as well. You need a contact. You only need a contact. That means one. That's all you need. But it's getting there. That's going to be the achievement, is actually doing one. Brilliant. Now then, just to reiterate on that point of getting these contacts, they've got to be unique. So if you're getting if you're going to do a sort of something like that, you might be bagging VHF contacts anyway, so there wouldn't be much point jumping straight in and doing them, but you'd be bagging them anyway, and you giving out a CQ call, you're probably bagging them anyway. Whilst I've been going through I've been bagging one or two. I like Parks on the Air. I bagged a few HF contacts through Parks on the Air since I've started it, before I've even started this video going. Wow. It really can be that easy. Now then, let's do the next one, which is getting involved. Getting involved, you activate a sort of summit. There are some easy to get to sort of summits. You don't need to start panicking. I'm going to try and do one or two local ones around here. One is a very easy one to get to, a very easy walk. The next one is slightly more difficult. The easier it is, the less points you get. The more difficult, the more points you get. I'm going to try one that's dead easy, and I'm also going to try one that's a little bit more. For anybody who knows, I have started suffering from arthritis, so that's going to be a massive problem for me, but I'm still going to give it a go anyway. Alright, the next one, squares. Worked All Britain squares. Brilliant. I came across this only about 12 months ago. Worked All Britain squares, basically on the survey is split up into big areas, so you're just using the two letters and the first two numbers of the north and the eastern. That's all you're using. Now I intend to do a video. I've done a video in the past on that. One of my very early videos, absolute load of rubbish. Sounds bad, video's bad, lighting's bad. No problem, I'm going to redo that. We'll do that again for you as we go along. Alright, then there's contesting. Joining with your club contesting. I think it did say you needed 10 to log 10 contacts as part of a contest. Now also in getting involved, you need to help with a special event station, setting it up, setting it back down, and then also logging on a special events special events day or a field day. In Leyland and District Amateur Radio Club have one coming up. unfortunately I do not have a camper van or a tent or anything, so unfortunately I'm unable to book into that, so I'll do a special event station somewhere else. One of the things about Brickworks is it doesn't have to be the club. You can use another club, and the clubs can talk to each other and help each other out. Hopefully, if there's anything anybody needs from the Leyden District Club, the East Lancs Club will probably be happy to help. I know I certainly will be happy to help through that club as well. Okay. Now the taking part one, I'll quickly go through that. You need to attend 6 of your club meetings. You need to take part in a club's net on 6 separate occasions. Now, okay, I'm going to struggle a little bit because I do have a clear rundown, but not every week, or it's every other week with the Leyden District Club, not every other week can I pick enough people up to justify joining in the net. I think this week I've just been listening a few minutes ago and I can only pick up the net controller, so I've just taken the back seat. I'm not bothered this week. There are some weeks I can hear loads and loads of people, so I'll be joining in then. Okay. Right, undertake a regular role within your club. The other club that I go to, the East Lancs Club, I have a regular role in that as well. I like to think I have, but I do like to set up the radios. We do get people who are studying for the licenses to come and have a go, have a talk to people. For me, that's a regular role. I set up radios every week and get people going. And Peter, if you're watching this, well done. You actually used the radio. I hope he's laughing now. Right. But that was all part of it as well. And every now and then I like to show off stuff like SSTV, FTA. It helps to encourage people, doesn't it? Just another thing. Okay. Make a presentation to your club. I'm assuming that's a formal presentation, but I don't know, it might not be. The club might turn around and just say, look, if a few of us get round and you show us what you're doing, that's enough for a presentation, which would be really nice. Because I know some people really struggle with that. Take part in a RayNet event. That's going to be a struggle because in this local area I know the RayNet doesn't really operate anymore. So I'm going to have to look out of the area, find a RayNet and ask if I can join in with an event just to be able to tick it off. Which is a shame. I used to do RayNet back in the 80s, and we did actually go out on a couple of quite important jobs, and it's really interesting when you do. The last one is to help organise an activity for a club meeting. So again, that could just be using the HF, VHF or whatever. I'm probably going to end up doing that through the East Lancs Club, assuming Ladar and Phil will let me do that. I'm asking in advance now. Right, and the last one is to make something. Now, it says build a piece of amateur radio related equipment for your shack. You could build yourself a dipole. Job done. Then it says write a piece of amateur radio related software for your shack, and I am sure if I find the right piece of paper, I'll put it somewhere. Write an amateur radio related piece of software that you can use in your shack, or design a simple website. Now, I'm going to be asking the question whether QRZ.com counts. I'm not writing the website, but I am writing my page on that website. Does that count? And if it does, I'm going to have to take off what I've done and redo it again just to prove I can do it, but I'm willing to. Now then, promoting your amateur radio group. Okay, introduce somebody to the hobby who goes on to start the foundation course. Attend a rally or an exhibition to promote your chosen club. So the club that you're doing it through, your exhibition or a rally, just to promote it. Now, I've got Blackpool coming up, the East Lancs Club and the North Western Repeater Group are doing they're doing the Blackpool rally. I'll spit it out in a minute. They're doing the Blackpool rally, so it's an opportunity for me to get on that stall and promote amateur radio through it. Okay, now the last one is to help run a training course at a chosen club. Now that might not be as easy as it sounds, but this is the very last one. Now then, one thing I haven't mentioned, and I will need to refer back to my little book here. The one thing I didn't mention is that there are certificates of achievement. There are little awards. For a bronze award, you only need 3 activities. 3 activities completed, bang, you've got a certificate to show what you've done already. If you do 5, you'll get silver. For gold it's 10. For platinum it's 15. Wait for it, if you get all 23, you can have a diamond. Bob on. Right. So without further ado, this is me thinking about it. I'm thinking I'm going to get out there and start doing some stuff. I'm going to go and do some sort of, I might even do parks on the air. Do a bit of that. Whilst I'm doing it, I'm going to be logging those HF contacts. I'm going to be logging the VHF contacts. Whilst I'm sat here as well, hunting for parks, hunting for sorter. I'm going to be getting them in as well. And they do parks on the air with FT8. I'm always on FT8, having a look what's going on. It's dead easy to bag some contacts with it. Things I'm going to have to work at. I'm going to have to work at this digital side, the voice digital. I'm going to have to work at the fusion. So watch this space. I'm going to have to work. What else am I going to have to work? Oh, SSTV. Yeah, I can do it. It's not a problem, but I'm going to have to work at getting those contacts. So here we go. Next few videos are going to be my video diary. I'm G6PNH. 73s until the next video diary. 73s.